Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. Now, my question of today is what was the last coin that you added to your collection? So, in other words, what was the last coin that you purchased some of? Let us know in the comment section down below, and let's see which coin was bought the most. Now, I hope you guys are all following my second channel called 5 Minute Crypto and following me over on Twitter, because these are two places where you can get the most important news as soon as possible, if of course you're not in my Telegram channel. Link for that is below as well. Having said that, I want to start today out with a pretty interesting tweet from XRP Hold. It's a retweet, but let's read this first. He said, the script continues. Will they relocate or will complete regulatory clarity come out of nowhere? And that might come out of nowhere, haha, pun intended, until you get the context. And the context is a video here that was retweeted by Digital Asset Buy or DAI. And the video shows Chris Larson and Jeff John Roberts discussing, or actually, it's mostly a monologue of Chris Larson about partially regulatory clarity and partially the ongoing Cold War between the US and China in terms of this, I guess, financial payment space and blockchain and all of that. So DAI commented, might be time to move beyond Bitcoin and figure this thing out, USA. The reason he's saying that, and too bad I can't show you this because I'm on the laptop and sounds don't play, but what it basically says is Chris Larson explaining how the regulatory clarity for crypto in general and blockchain tech is not that good in the USA yet, and some or a lot of companies are having to make a tough decision to get out of the country into a more accepting country like Switzerland, Singapore, etc. Now, with that, Chris Larson also commented and said that there's even some debates of Ripple switching out, going to a different country, and relocating their headquarters. And I commented a couple of hours ago on this as well, but I can't seem to find it anymore, saying that it's not really uncommon for any of these companies to, I guess, get rid of the US and base their headquarters somewhere else. Mostly it's for tax purposes, though. Here he's saying it's for regulatory purposes. That's the first part of his comment. The second part mostly talks about China, because he said that if China wins this race with everything and if the US doesn't step it up, we won't get the system how we kind of expect it to become. He said, as an example, that credit scores could determine whether or not you could make a payment or not, or whether or not you could do things on the internet or in with this technology and things like that. And those, of course, are all scary, and that's because you don't get the same liberal system if China is in control. His words, not mine. Don't shoot the messenger. All right, and I thought about it for a little second. I do think it does spark out some logic. And yeah, let me know what you think about Chris Larson in the comment section down below. All right, and about this whole talk here. Pretty interesting. Then Ripple just posted something rather interesting. What does radioactive material have to do with crypto? Our Ripple engineering team connects the fascinating dots in their blog. Funny enough, it's actually a Ripple engineering page. So it's like an engineering section on Ripple, which, as far as I know, is completely new. Yet, I think this is pretty interesting for a lot of people who are more into developing and programming and engineering, and I guess want to be more connected with Ripple. Maybe this stuff can help them out a lot. This article is not new at all, and I still don't understand why Ripple is pushing these older articles and what they're doing with that. I've thought a couple more scenarios through. One is they want to get to 1 million followers. Another is they want to do this pre-IPO. Another is they want to have everything done just before swell. Another is they want to keep content up for social pressure, sort of a social awareness, something like that. They just want to make sure they have something to post every single day, even if it's repeating old articles. Those are all legitimate looking reasons. Now, why they're doing it, we don't really know, but it's not just one guy, having the Twitter app open doing these things because it's done via Hootsuite, if that's the way to pronounce it. And my guess here is that there's a pretty good team for all the social stuff. And so it's not like this is just a random post done. There's always some thought behind it because, well, you got to, all right? You also have a lot of responsibilities as a company this big, and thus you kind of got to think about what you post online. Now, they've also been posting a couple of other cool things, and that makes me kind of think that reposting old articles is not that necessary because if you take a look, there's actually quite some stuff on here. All right, they've actually been quite open and aware and busy with sharing things. However, another thing I've noticed is that maybe they're trying to push these newer domains. Here you can see engineering.ripple.com. Here we can see on.ripple.com. And I guess that's for what I what I have in terms of dot connecting for now. But maybe they're trying to push those a little bit further because they're quote unquote new, at least not as known. But yeah, I've been thinking about that. Another thing I guess here, we're thrilled to partner with Lemonway. Learn how Lemonway is using RippleNet to build differentiated value propositions with significantly faster payouts for marketplaces. Well, I guess you can read up on that if you want to. Euro to euro, not that interesting for a lot of you US guys then maybe, but maybe for me it's cool. Then something I was kind of debating about whether or not I should show this in videos cuz this is some real life stuff that a lot of us are thinking about every single day, yet it's not something that really hits you on the head until you try to dive for it. It's not something that just crosses your path too easily unless you're involved. The oil and gas industry has lost. Is the oil and gas? Is that one industry or is? Oh, I guess yeah. Because I was like, it should be half if it's two, but it's one industry. Has lost more than 100,000 jobs this year. Damn. All right, 107,000 jobs have been eliminated in that sector: oil, natural gas, and chemicals industry. So this the fastest rate of layoffs in the industry's history, the report says. Huh. Damnity, damnity, damn. Well, what I have to say about this one is I'm just quite confused with how many people are losing their job, how many people are getting worse off, and how good the stock market is performing. All right, a little bit earlier we talked about the election having quite a big effect, most likely, on where the S&P 500 is going to go in like a month or so. I'm still standing by that prediction, that idea, that things could really look a little bit more dire in the short term. Because, again, talking about traditional assets, if we're looking at the real way people are living, especially if you look at an election itself, the essence of what it is people really put faith in one man or woman or something else to take over, make their country better. In this case, though, for this election, I've been hearing so many debates, and also, I mean, we've had, I should say, you guys have had one president, yet there's still a lot of complaints right now, just before the election, that might influence how much people would trust him if he were to be president again. This is not my 2 cents. This is just, object, or no, I guess facts just kind of stated here. People will most likely doubt a lot of things surrounding all of this and possibly also distrust the government a little bit more, allowing the currency to do worse, and that whole circle will just go on further. All right. If people trust the currency less, the Federal Reserve has less power. But for people to trust the currency less, they most likely trust the government less. They'll most likely invest less into the country, making their dollar even weaker. Because, I mean, if people are not buying from outside into the US, then, well, the dollar gets a little bit weaker because people don't really want it that much anymore. Getting the purchasing power down from, I guess, outside, for outside the country, so making imports relatively more expensive, most likely dimming down innovation, most likely having to push the interest rates even further down, getting a freaking crazy cycle going on. I think you guys can understand exactly how that would kind of pop up. It's not necessarily causative, whatever. Correlation does not mean causation. That's the saying I would like to add there. But I think you all can understand exactly what I'm trying to say with it. It's just really strange how the market is looking versus how the people are looking. And here another one is pretty interesting. Here's when your second stimulus check could arrive if Congress passes more economic aid. I might cover this one on my Business Realm channel, so stay tuned for that. The Wolf of All Streets posted, "That moment when you finally decide to sell is often the dead bottom." I am just really kind of bamboozled by how true this is. I think almost any of us, or almost all of us, have at one point or another sold some crypto exactly at the bottom of the bottom. Right? You were like, yeah, we're gonna go down from here. Boom, shot upwards. You're like, damn, I just sold some. Yes, a reverse. Same for buying at the exact top. I think a lot of us have done that once or more in the past. Doesn't mean you're an idiot, doesn't mean anything like that. It could just be an honest mistake or not wanting to miss out, that FOMO. Stop. Okay, let's not name that, I guess. Breaking. Huge swell announcement leaked. CKJ is still not invited. I don't really get why people are still making these jokes. Is it? I don't really see why. But maybe I'm not into the meme too much. What I did want to say though is that this swell event is looking rather interesting because it's online. But all the people I've talked to did not get accepted to attend. No, I don't think they'll be happy to showcase Swell on YouTube, so it will probably not be able to be live streamed. But still, I'm quite amazed and kind of confused with why they're not allowing more people in. Like, what are the cons to it? Is it just a live stream issue, or what is it? I don't really know. I'm trying to figure it out, but they're not ever sending me emails back, so I kind of can't. And then also EOS. EOS climbs 10% in a green day. Just wanted to mention how good EOS was performing, even though it's been underperforming for the longest time. EOS used to be a very, very top contender. I've held that coin dearly for the longest time, but they've not done anything for such a long while. But now, I guess they're picking up the pace a little bit. Look at that pump. And also, by the way, guys, look at these coins going down like crazy. XRP minus 0 point or minus 1.45%. Not really showing much, I guess. So yeah, pretty interesting market, pretty interesting day. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I would definitely see you guys again in another crypto video.